Hi everybody. Today we are talking about why caregiving, being a caregiver, or needing care and caring for yourself is bad for your health, and also what you can do about it. Now, you might think the answer is pretty simple, pretty obvious. Let me start by giving some context or a little bit of background about why this discussion is important for you. When people hear the word caregiving or caregiver, they might automatically think, well, it's all those tasks, all those things that a person has to do to take care of somebody else. For people who need care, who care for themselves, or you have other people caring for you, same thing. It's about all the things that you have to do day in and day out to take medications and manage your care and go see the doctor. Now, if you're organized and you have good coping skills and you know how to work through all this, this might be really easy until the day that it becomes more complicated and more complicated because one health situation on top of another and another and another and another, and all these life situations out here, your family, your friends, your job, everything, it just turns into this complicated mess. So what I'm going to talk about today with respect to why being a caregiver or needing care is bad for your health is all of the uncertainty, the lack of control that people feel over everything that's going on in life. And because of all of this uncertainty and not having any control, this can have a very negative impact on your health and your well-being and your mind and the way you think. If you cannot gain some type of clarity about what you want and make it happen in a certain period of time. Because what I can tell you, what I see with caregivers, what I've seen for over 20 years, is that the chronic day in, day out list of tasks, list of things that has to be done, all the stress, the health issues, the family relationships, the work, it takes a toll on your health. The stress of uncertainty really is life affecting. So stay with me all the way to the end of this video. I'm going to share 3 suggestions for you to think about if you are in the situation where everything's uncertain and you can't put a timeline on anything and there's no date and everything is out of control and you obviously just don't know what you're going to do and how you can manage. If this is your first time here on my channel, I'm Pamela D Wilson. I'm a caregiving expert, advocate, and a speaker. I help adults and caregivers plan for and work through healthcare issues, financial, legal, family situations, everything related to care and caregiving. If you want to learn more about me, go below. There are links to my website, my professional experience, how to contact me for consultations. Please do, I ask you for a favor. Help me by helping more people find this video and my channel. Click on the like this video button, click on the follow this channel button, comment, even if it's only to say, hey, thanks for the video. Every little thing that you do helps other people find their way here and to my website, which is PamelaDWilson.com. So let's talk more about uncertainty. Uncertainty and worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen the next day. I don't have enough answers. It's bad for your brain up here. Because what happens is your brain wants an answer. Your brain wants a situation. It's this amazing, amazing machine that has a problem, thinks of a solution. What do I need to do next? What the brain does not like is threats. Oh my gosh, is this going to happen? Worry. How do I work this out? I don't have the skills. I don't know what to do. I have no control over this. So what happens is the brain just spirals and spirals and spirals and spirals, and off your mind goes. So let me give you 2 examples. You're a caregiver. You're spending more and more time as a caregiver. You have no idea how much longer you're going to be in this caregiving role. And in some circumstances, honestly, you don't know how much longer you can do it because you're burned out. Everything in your life is just going off track. Your career, your friendships, your family, your health, your social life, everything has changed. Scenario number 2. You are a person who has one health problem, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything's snowballing. It keeps getting worse. Or you have a couple of health problems and now all of a sudden you have this diagnosis like memory loss, dementia, Alzheimer's, maybe even cancer. In any of these circumstances, your only thought is, the real end to this, the blunt end, I'm going to die. But there's a lot of time between today and, we hope, the time that you die. So how do you add certainty to the next month and the next 6 months and the next year and the next 2 years and the next 5 years? I can help with this. So let's take the first step back to the uncertainty and how this affects your brain and your mind and your ability to just think through this to figure out what the next step is. Uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen. It makes you worry. It increases the stress that you feel in your body. It affects the way you respond to other people, your level of patience. Are you kind with people? Are you rushed? Are you angry? Are you upset? Uncertainty causes a lot of emotions. So what does the mind do? It just wants to spin and spin and spin over this problem, and it's trying to solve it, but there's this gap. There's just no crossing over to figure out that problem. There's no crossing over to find a solution. So what do? You spend all your time worrying. Well, worry causes more worry, and then your brain, oh my gosh, it goes on overload. It shuts off. It starts forgetting other things in your life. You left for work this morning. Your lunch, it's on the kitchen table. You went to the grocery store to pick up milk. You came home with everything else except milk. Your spouse or your kids, they needed you to do one thing for them today. You totally forgot. You had a work deadline today that you thought was tomorrow or next week. Oh my gosh. Your brain is on overload. And you can't think, and you're not getting anything done, and all you're doing is spinning in these problems. No wonder you feel so miserable. When the brain is on overload because of, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm worried. What happens next? I don't have enough information. It can be difficult for you to take a step back and say, I need to calm down. I need to think about what's going on here. What's the problem? Why can't I solve the problem? What don't I know? What information don't I have? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? How do I know if I'm making a good decision? Those are questions that you want to be able to ask yourself. Because what happens is, caregivers who are under stress, you're bombarded by all this stuff. And your brain is just like, I can't deal with it. Enough is enough. Stop the world. Caregivers in this situation say no to everything, even a brilliant suggestion, because your brain's on overload. You cannot process any more information. You can't think. One more thing is going to push you off that emotional cliff. So the first step to dealing with the stress effect on the brain of uncertainty is you got to find a place where you can balance out your thinking and your emotions and the facts. So rather than just reacting to something and going, oh my God, it's bad, it's going to get worse, what am I going to do, I can't deal with this, got to calm down. So calm the emotions down first, because that's usually where the first reaction comes from. Ask yourself, when something happens, do my emotions just go off the charts and I can't think and I'm all over the place and all I do is live in drama, and then I create drama because I've never learned how to balance my emotions and bring some facts in. If this is you or somebody that you know, you can have a lot of difficulty hearing information, even understanding what people are trying to tell you, because your mind is so scattered. You can have a lot of difficulty maintaining relationships. You can be really angry at other people because you feel like they are threatening you. All you have is this, I'm going to fight or I'm going to run emotion. If this is you or somebody else in your life or in your family, you got to take a step back and slow life down, like in slow motion. Now, on the other hand, you may have people in your family or yourself, maybe you're just perfectly logical and you see a problem, you know what the solution is, and you do it, and people think that you're this big jerk because you just keep moving ahead. Well, somewhere in the middle of these two situations, there's a balance. It's important to be able to be a person who can identify problems and solutions and move on, but you need a little bit of empathy for the people on the other side who are super emotional. If you're on the emotional side over here, you need a little bit of the non-emotional and the facts and the problem solving to be able to get along with these people. So somewhere in the middle is a good place to be. So let's say that you have this situation and your family members are just all over the place, or the person you care for is all over the place, and you're all over the place, and you just even don't know, like you wake up and it's like, what day is it? I got more problems to deal with. I just don't like this at all, right? So you have to make some time for yourself. You got to slow things down. Put yourself in a room. No TV, no radio, no phone. Piece of paper. Gain some awareness of your emotions and what you're feeling. And ask yourself, have I ever worked through anything like this before? Did I succeed? What did I do? What worked? What didn't work? What's important to me? How do I motivate myself? Then you also have to be empathetic with yourself and kind to yourself and kind and empathetic to everybody else. Because you want to be able to understand what's motivating you or what's holding you back from becoming more certain, from feeling like you have more control over your life. And if you're taking care of somebody, they may feel the same way. So a person with a health problem can feel exactly as crazed as a caregiver because they're actually the one going through the health problem, right? As the caregiver, you're trying to help. You don't have the health problem. You're not dealing with it. You're not going to the doctor. You're not getting chemotherapy or radiation or kidney dialysis or having to go get blood tests, or you don't have diabetes. You don't have all this stuff. Not that you can't get it from all the stress, right? But you're not the one with the physical condition. The person that you care for is the person with the physical condition. So it's good to be a little more empathetic. You don't have to agree with everything they're feeling, but it's good to understand how they're feeling. And then in all of this upheaval, talked about learning how to regulate and balance the emotions and the facts and all of that, so that when you talk to people, you can think for a moment and say, okay, what do I want to say here? How might this person interpret what I want to say? And if somebody says something to me that I just don't like, can I, in a nice way, respond and say, that didn't make me feel good. I'm not gaining confidence here that we're going to be able to work together. What can we do here to solve these problems? Because a lot of this uncertainty sometimes resides only with ourselves, but sometimes if you're a caregiver or the person needing care, it involves somebody else too. So it's kind of a two-way street. So again, taking a step back, a little bit of you time in a room, write down your thoughts, can let your brain gather some information so that it can start figuring out how to make this situation more certain and have you be more in control. Otherwise, your health and your well-being are going to suffer, and this is what research proves. The more that a caregiver lives in unending uncertainty, unending feeling that there is no control and there is no solution, and the same thing for the person with the health issue, the more you stay in this place, the more likely you are to have more health problems and more worries and more anxiety. So, idea number 2, after gaining all this introspection and thinking about things. 2 scenarios, right? Burned out caregiver keeps doing more and more and more, doesn't have a solution. Person with health problem, a lot of health problems, keep stacking up, more care needed, I don't know what to do either. So, in both of these situations, what you want to think about is how uncertainty and being out of control can be harmful to your health. So if you're a caregiver and you're healthy today, it may be hard to understand the health problems of the person that you're caring for. But what I can tell you is over time, and caregivers share this with me, Pamela, I used to be healthy. Now I got high blood pressure. I eat because I'm stressed. I've gained weight. I've got diabetes. I have all these other health problems, and it's because all I do is worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. And I don't have a plan, and I feel like life's out of control, and I'm uncertain. Okay? So if this is you, have to figure out how to reduce these feelings that harm your health. And so it kind of goes back to this idea of what do you focus on every day, and what are you like attached to or compulsive about? So compulsiveness is the idea of you have this habit that you keep doing and you can't stop yourself, right? Caregiving can be one of these habits. You start and you keep doing more and more and more and more, and you can't stop yourself from doing more because you think somebody has to have your help, or you think it has to be that way, you're trying to control the outcome. I mean, sometimes there is no control over this, right? And this is the struggle of why caregivers get so feeling like life is permanently uncertain and out of control. On the other hand, you're the person with the health problem, compulsive behavior, right? You're stressed. So you're overeating, you're eating junk food, you're eating sweets. You are too stressed out, you can't even make time to go for a walk. Can't even make time to make another doctor appointment to figure out what's wrong with you. Because you're too busy being stressed, all these things that might be good for you, you're just saying, I can't do them, don't have time, don't want to do them, can't think about that. So as the caregiver or the person needing care, your mind can get in this mental pattern where you have all these mental habits that are saying, I can't do this, I can't make a change, I'm too worried, I can't do it. Well, if all you tell yourself is, I can't do it, and if you respond with no to what might be really good suggestions for you, I can't do it and no, where does that lead you? It leads you to more I can't do it and more refusals, right? On the other side of that, there's a yes and opportunities and life could be so much better, but you're just closing the door, okay? You were offered an opportunity to change and you slam the door and you're like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just staying here in my uncertain life and feeling out of control because that's what I do. So the last one in all of this is to take number 1, which is kind of what's going on? How do I feel? How are my emotions contributing to this? What have I done? What have I not done? And then to realize too, how is this harming or helping me? Do I need to be more open to suggestions? Do I need to find a way to calm my mind down and be a little more thoughtful? Number 3 is kind of how do you make a plan out of uncertainty and feeling out of control? And the way that you do that is it's to make a plan, right? So why do I feel the way I do? Can I balance emotions and facts here so I'm not feeling so uncertain and so out of control, so I can get my mind to come down and focus on what's going on and how have my actions contributed to me feeling so out of control? Or how have outside circumstances, a health diagnosis, something else, contributed to me feeling out of control? And in all of this, with whom I'm involved with, my caregiver, the person I'm caring for, how are their thoughts and their feelings and their expectations affecting me? Because until you can get to a point where you really have some answers or a starting point, it can be hard to figure out how to work yourself out of constantly being worried, feeling life is uncertain, and that you don't have any control. So if you've been trying to do this for a while, you've got to start, or consider to start with, being brutally honest with yourself. And sometimes we can be a little critical of ourselves, blame ourselves, say, oh, I shouldn't have done that, I was so stupid, what was I thinking? Well, put all that aside, forgive yourself. Like, I'm starting with a clean slate today. Whatever happened is in the past, can't change any of that, not going to blame myself, I got to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. So if you are a person with a health issue, what is it you want? What's important to you? What's realistic based on your current health situation, conversations with your doctor? What options do you have? What facts do you have to support taking option A or option B? So in this light, you want to start gathering data, getting the facts, kind of setting your emotions down, slowing those down a little bit, and allow your brain to start solving this problem. Same thing if you're a caregiver. I'm stuck in this care situation. I don't know how to get out. I don't want to tell my parents no. I don't want to tell my spouse no. Everybody's putting all this pressure on me. Well, you know what? You got to think about harm to yourself. Is this situation harming yourself mentally, your mind? Is it causing you more stress? Is it making you sick? Are you having problems at work, problems with your family, problems with your spouse? Is caregiving even good for you? Maybe at this point it's not. Or maybe you're in the early stages where it's kind of starting to be a problem and you're thinking, I need to do something about this. Got to get ahead of the problem. Again, what are the facts of the situation? How have you contributed? Do you have behaviors and things that you just automatically do that are not helping you out? Have you stopped being open to suggestions from other people that might actually work for you if you would just take a step back and listen and think about, does this make sense for me? Am I willing to try this? Can I do it? Are you at a point where you can say, you know what, I'm done with this uncertainty. I'm done with not having control of my life. I want my life back. You have to start somewhere. So if you're in this place of constant worry, constant overwhelm, you have to do something to get yourself moving. Because if you don't, nothing is going to change. So ask yourself what you're willing to do. And again, go in a room, no TV, no radio, no cell phone. Write down a clear picture of what do I want. Now, you also have to believe that you can make the change and be willing to do whatever it takes to get there. If you're at all uncertain, then maybe this is not a change that you want. Maybe you need a baby step back or 10 steps back to say, okay, I know this is where I want to get, but I don't think I'm there. What one thing can I do today? Or one thing can I do in the next month? Or one thing can I do in the next 2 months that's going to move me a little bit forward so I can gain some confidence to keep going? What beliefs do I have that are holding me back? Do I think that I don't deserve to be healthy? Do I think that I can't be healthy? Do I think that I have to stay in this caregiving role because everybody's going to hate me if I don't? Do I believe that I can move past this? You have to believe in yourself and that you can do this, that you can calm your mind, that you can find more certainty in your life, create more certainty in your life, have a little more control, because if all you do is stay in worry and fear and frustration, you're never going to get there. And maybe what you need is somebody to tell you, I see where you are. There's so much opportunity. Your life could be so much better. I'm telling you right now, your life could be so much better, so less stressful, more manageable if you can calm your mind and figure out how to move beyond uncertainty. Decide on this. Make a decision. Commit to do something. Work through it. Make it happen. Don't let other people make you feel bad about wanting to create a positive change for yourself in your life. Family members do this all the time to the primary caregiver. They say, oh, you have to keep doing this, because they don't want to step in and do it, right? No, you don't have to keep doing it. You have a health problem. No, you don't have to keep being unhealthy. You can change anything if you're willing to do it and you recognize the steps to make it happen and you're willing to do it. Now, admittedly, you're not going to go from night to day. You're not going to go from unhealthy to sick. You're not going to go from I'm a caregiver today and I'm not a caregiver tomorrow. It takes steps. It takes degrees to get there. So figure out how to make a plan for yourself. If you cannot figure out how to make a plan, go to my website. There's a lot of free information there, PamelaDWilson.com. Articles, videos, podcasts, online courses. If you try that and you still are stuck, or if you just want to say, look, just help me, tell me what to do, there's a page on my website, my contact page, or my aging consultation page under the services tab. You can schedule a video consultation with me, a phone consultation with me. I can help you go through all the situations and try to make this information a little bit more clear for you, help you gain some clarity out of all this muddy water and out of all this uncertainty. Okay? So, again, please, if this has been any help to you at all, like this video, follow my channel, comment, even if it's only to say thank you. Helps other people find their way here who are looking for similar hope, help, and support. I will see you all again soon in another video.